And a very good evening, I guess we'll say, to you all, and welcome to some Kahok Volleyball here on the Kahok Broadcast Club Network. It is September. Yeah, September has started. Labor Day was yesterday. Belated happy Labor Day to everyone. But now the kids are back to school, and we're back to some sports here on the Kahok Broadcast Club Network. As we've got some volleyball for you, as your Collinsville Kahawks take on the Crusaders of Althoff Catholic in Belleville. My name is Zach Roseman. Glad that you're with us here on a pleasant enough Thursday evening here in Southwest Illinois. Temperatures up in the low 80s, I do believe, at their warmest, starting to cool down a little bit now. Pretty nice night for sports, although, of course, we are inside in the nice, comfortable 73-degree air-conditioned setup that we have here in Fletcher Gym. So, yeah. Collinsville, they come in with a record of 2-0 in the young season. They are coached by Katie Dawson in her first year as coach. And, Kahawks are off to a 2-0 start with wins over Highland and Metro East Lutheran. Althoff, they come in at 3-5 on the year. It was like, wow, they've played 8 games already. Well, they were in a tournament over the weekend over in Chesterfield. And with that and a couple other games, the Crusaders find themselves with a record of 3-5, but don't let the record fool you. This is still a pretty quality team that have played some very quality opponents. Some of the teams that the Crusaders have lost to include such powers as the likes of Belleville West, St. Joseph's Academy from over in Missouri. So, certainly high-quality competition for the Crusaders so far this year. And whilst I'm sure they probably would hope for a better record than 3 wins out of 8, there's still a very long way to go in the season. We're going to go ahead and take our first break here on the Kahawk Broadcast Club Network. We'll be back in just a minute for some information about both teams, some of their program history. Be back in just a bit here on the Kahawk Broadcast Club Network.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahawk fans, before, after, or even during Kahawk games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahawk games live, as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carryout orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahawk fans' pub of choice. Want to catch some of the best live music in Collinsville from a band of local area residents? Well, look no further than Sonically Pleasing. Sonically Pleasing with Tim Carlisle, Jim Kaysen, Logan Carlisle, and Caleb Tanzius. They play some of the best rock and roll hits from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. You can catch Sonically Pleasing at some of the area's finest venues, as well as book Sonically Pleasing for your private event or party. To put some music in your life, it's Sonically Pleasing. Check out Sonically Pleasing's Facebook page for upcoming live show dates and to book them for your special event. Or call to book that event at 618-401-0052. Pleasing live rock music for your ears. It's Sonically Pleasing. 618-401-0052. That's 618-401-0052. The choices you make to celebrate the life of your loved one should be as special as the person they represent. That's why you will always find the staff at Her Funeral Home in Collinsville ready to go the extra mile to meet the needs of you and your family during those times. For over 100 years, Her Funeral Home has been there for Collinsville and the surrounding communities. Of the many arrangements made after losing a loved one, the first is the selection of a funeral home. The staff at Her Funeral Home in Collinsville can help with that planning. Call Her Funeral Home in Collinsville at 618-344-0187. Her Funeral Home, serving Collinsville families for over 100 years. 618-344-0187. Got vinyl? Rich's Record Emporium in Uptown Collinsville can take care of all of your vinyl needs and more. You can peruse through thousands of records from country to hard-to-find jazz, and classic rock is always in stock at Rich's Record Emporium. Used vinyl, new vinyl, and hard-to-find vinyl. Don't forget to check out the audio room at Rich's, where you can check out the latest in audio gear, from new top-of-the-line speakers to turntables and receivers, plus all the accessories. Rich has t-shirts, record cleaners, turntable needles, wall art, and so much more. If you can't find what you're looking for at Rich's, they will do their best to find it for you. Don't forget to mention seeing this ad on the Kahok Sports Network for a 10% discount at checkout. Rich's Record Emporium, 131 West Main Street in Collinsville, or call 618-795-1333 or online at richesrecordemporium.com.
At Visionary Wealth Advisors, we empower you to see your future before it's your future, to create your inheritance, to build your vision, to anticipate the known and unknown, and to find potential in both, and build new dawns. Visionary Wealth Advisors.
Visit Brad Keene at his Collinsville office at 106 North Clinton, or call 618-467-8420. Caseyville VFW Post 1117 Auxiliary supports the VFW with post projects and fundraiser events. The Caseyville VFW Auxiliary also provides donations and sponsorship for Veterans in Need, Jefferson Barracks in St. Louis, the Caseyville Food Pantry, outreach programs, summer lunches for students in the Collinsville Unit 10 School District, and now the Kahok Sports Network. Plus, sponsoring CHS programs like band, theater, and sports. If you would like to provide support or join the Caseyville VFW Auxiliary, contact the Caseyville VFW Post 1117 at 618-344-9878.
Probably the largest purchase you'll ever make. We have 5 agents on our team.
We cover about an hour radius around St. Louis.
We grew up here. We know every town like the back of our hands.
Our job as realtors is helping someone find their dream home, whether it's a family or an individual. We just want to do everything that we can to keep the process as simple and as stress-free as possible for you.
The Blaylock Group, the official realtors of the Kahok Sports Network and Kahok Athletics.
We welcome you back here to Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. Zach Roseman here with you tonight as the Kahawks are finishing up their warm-ups now, getting ready for their matchup with the Crusaders of Althoff. We'll go ahead and take a minute now to talk about some program history for both of these schools as it comes to volleyball. Start with Collinsville because that's what we're a bit more familiar with. Collinsville, of course, has had volleyball for quite a number of years now. I think this might be the right about 50 years now. 1975, I believe, was the first season for the Kahawks in the world of girls volleyball. And the 1975-76 season under the co-leadership of Nancy Coates and Linda Caspar, the Kahawks were able to pick up their first district title in 1977, in the first year of Coach Gene Wilmore's tenure. And Coach Wilmore was able to bring the Kahawks to their only ever state appearance in the 1979 season when they finished fourth place. And then they would also go to state in the 1983 season, but would lose in the quarterfinals. Other regional titles for the Kahawks would come in 1989, and 1995, before a fantastic four-year run that resulted in 4 regional and 2 sectional titles from 2004 to 2007. Collinsville, of course, at that time had future Olympian Michelle Barch anchoring that team. And since that 2007 team, Collinsville has not won a regional title. Althoff have had a bit more success of late. Crusaders starting up their volleyball program the earliest year that we have record for is 1980, when under Coach Al Viley they went to state, lost in the quarterfinals in 1980, and again in 1981 had a 31-0 team before losing in the quarterfinals. They would break through for a place the following year, as under Coach John Rule in 1982, the Crusaders were able to break through for a 4th place. More regionals came in 89, 92, 93, and 95 before Coach Kathy Wooler took over the 1996 season and took 6 teams to the state tournament, with their highest finish being a 2nd place in 1999. More success would come for the Crusaders when under Coach Sarah Thomas, Crusaders would take back-to-back teams to state in 2016 and 2017, culminating in the only state title, culminating in a state title in 2017 in 3A. 41-1 team, one of the best teams to come out of this area on the volleyball front in the past several years. And the program has generally been strong since. Coach Bryce Miller in his 3rd season now, and he is already over 50 wins. So things have been looking pretty good for the Crusaders here as of late, just looking to see if they can make another push to get some hardware. We're going to go ahead and take another break here on the Kahok Broadcast Club Network. We'll be back in just a minute for starting lineups and eventually the start of action here on the Kahok Broadcast Club Network.
Do you have a big land improvement project that requires some outside help? Call Petroff Trucking Company. The Petroff Companies have been shaping the metro area since 1975. Family owned and operated, Petroff Trucking Company can do the job and do it right. Hauling, excavating, and grading, they do that and more. Petroff Companies also has roll-off dumpster rentals. They also specialize in dirt and rock sales. Petroff Trucking Company can help you develop your land for your needs. Petroff Trucking Company. Check out their website, petrofftrucking.com, or give them a call, 618-797-6100. Petroff Trucking Company, shaping the metro area since 1975. Pack Mail of Collinsville, locally owned and operated by Ryan Combs. Pack Mail can ship anything, anywhere. They treat you like a neighbor because, well, you are a neighbor. Pack Mail offers shipping materials and containers, private mailboxes, as well as climate-controlled self-storage. Visit Pack Mail at 407 Beltline Road in Collinsville. Online, WeShipSt.Louis.com, or call Pack Mail at 346-4884. Mike's Automotive in Collinsville is a T3 certified tire dealer and so much more. Sure, Mike's Automotive has tires. They can also help with making sure your entire vehicle is road ready, from belts and hoses to preventative maintenance like oil changes and tire rotation. Plus a lot more than that. Mike's Automotive has 3 locations to choose from. Mike's Automotive in St. Louis and Millstadt, and Mike's Automotive in Collinsville at 1150 St. Louis Road, just blocks from the high school. Or call Mike's Automotive at 618-345-0611. Mike's Automotive in Collinsville. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Lottie's Cafe offers food, cocktails, and gaming in a great atmosphere highlighted by fast and friendly service. Lottie's Cafe also offers a unique menu that features soups and salads, sandwiches and paninis, pizza and flatbreads, appetizers and desserts, as well as breakfast. That's right, we said breakfast. Unique breakfast items such as a breakfast stromboli, a breakfast BLT, and breakfast burritos. Lottie's also offers creative cocktails, a wine bar, the coldest beer around, and a video gaming area for those 21 and older. And don't forget the Lottie's Cafe gift certificates. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem. Check them out online at lottiescafe.com, on Facebook, or in person in the Strip next to the Walmart Neighborhood Market. Or call Lottie's Cafe at 618-223-8256. Lottie's Cafe, Collinsville's hidden gem.
We welcome you back here into Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. Kahok football coach Colton Rhodes on PA for tonight. And we're actually going to take a break here as we play the national anthem before the starting lineups.
Looking for some unique food options, super cold drinks, and a fun atmosphere with an attentive staff? Look no further than Hurricanes Bar and Grill in Collinsville. Owned and operated by former Kahok State soccer champ Tim Johnson, Hurricanes has been one of the area's great meeting places for fun, food, live sports and music, and video gaming. Daily specials like Taco Tuesdays, Wing Wednesdays, and Fish Fridays. Hurricanes will tackle those hunger pains. Hurricanes is always open during all of Uptown Collinsville's Main Street festivals. Hurricanes is the place to satisfy your hunger and thirst needs. Hurricanes Bar and Grill, 222 West Main Street in Collinsville. Give them a call for carryout orders at 618-345-0846. 618-345-0846. Collinsville High School alumni Stacy Lauenstein, CHS class of 91, Lisa Bassetto, Sarah Sulke, and Tracy Limp, CHS class of 94, Tony Geisen, CHS class of 96, and Kevin Robinson, CHS class of 99, want to wish all of our Kahawks a great year. We look forward to cheering you on and supporting you. Work hard on the court and the field, as well as in the classroom. Remember, once a Kahawk, always a Kahawk. Hashtag Kahawk Family.
Here we go. Let's actually get it started. For Althoff. Senior setter number 4, Arista Bunn. Reese Disler, senior outside hitter, leads the Crusaders in kills. Number 6, which is not a number I have. Ellen Beltran, a defensive specialist. Bailey Wallman getting the start. It was not somebody I had on my roster. Kylie Fairbairn. Peyton Scheibel. And Caitlin Carban will be the libero for the Crusaders. Crusaders out there in the all navy blue. White lettering trimmed in gold. And they've got the arm sleeves, so great kind of a gradient from white down to the navy blue. We have the take a second here for the hype video to be played, which you all won't be able to see, but that will explain the delay before the starting lineup here for Collinsville. Solid crowd on hand, even with the split fan base, as there is soccer tonight. Todd Duke will have that game for you on Huddle TV. But I'm happy to be able to provide it for you. Some volleyball for you here.
And now for your Collinsville Kahawks.
Here we are.
Setter, senior number 2.
Carly Altenberger will get the start at setter. She has in both of the previous games for Collinsville.
Sophomore number 28, Zakia Big Z McMorris.
Zakia McMorris will get the start as one of the outside hitters.
Middle hitter, senior number 14,
Amari Edwards will be one of your middle hitters.
She's okay. Right side, senior number 22.
Lily Johnson will get the start on the right side.
Outside, junior number 11,
Avery Johnson will be the opposite outside. Kahawks leaders in kills so far this year.
Sophomore number 17, Jocelyn Johnson.
Jocelyn Johnson will get the start at the middle. And Addie Muniz will get the start at libero, alternating back and forth. Addie got the start against Metro East Lutheran. Griffin Guchar wore the opposite jersey against Highland, but Addie getting the start again tonight. Kahawks out there in the home whites, purple numbering and lettering. The liberos, of course, in the opposite color. Addie Muniz in purple with white numbers and lettering. And the Crusaders libero Carban in white with navy blue letters and numbering trimmed in gold. Officials look ready to go. Corner judges are here, and we're going to get started, well, about 17 minutes late. Freshman team were also in action. I was not here in time to see them, but I understand that they did lose in 2 sets. JV lost 25-13, 25-11. Collinsville lost. So, yeah, it should be the varsity Kahawks looking to get at least one win on the evening for the program, as we are about ready to go. As Jocelyn Johnson will rotate out and be replaced by Muniz. And it looks like Collinsville are going to, well, Carban will rotate in, take the place of Scheibel. And will be the Crusaders to serve first. And it'll be defensive specialist Riley Fairburn who will start things off for the Crusaders. Serve over and picked up by Muniz, set up by Altenberger. Attempted kill from Johnson, defended well by the Crusaders. Set middle for that was Wallman, and Wallman picks up a kill, and that'll make it 1-0 Crusaders here early. Retrieve the volleyball. And send it back to Fairbairn, and we'll go again here. She does so, this time picked up by Avery Johnson, set up by Altenberger for McMorris, and her kill is successful, and that will tie it at 1 and get the student section fired up here. Altenberger will be first server, as she has been traditionally for Collinsville. Serve from Altenberger is over, picked up by Beltran, and set up, and an attempted kill from, or attempted dig from Muniz goes into the first row, and so that'll be the first kill on the evening for Reese Distler. Mentioned leader for the Crusaders in kills with 73 through 8 games, as the libero Caitlin Carban will go back to serve for Althoff. She does so, picked up by McMorris, set up by Altenberger, going back to McMorris, and that one is down. Zakia with her second kill, and that'll tie things up at 2. Going side out, Griffin Guchar will rotate in, as McMorris will head to the bench, and it will be Griffin who will go back to serve. She does so. Picked up there by Disler and set back up for her. Yuna is able to pick that one up as it rolls along the top line as Guchar attempting to make an attack out of the back row, but finds the net. So that'll make it 3-2 Crusaders. Arista Bunn back to serve for Althoff as Adira Bunn will rotate in. We've got Adira and Arista both in the game for the Crusaders. Arista with the serve, picked up by Muniz. And Altenberger will set it up for Lily Johnson, and she's able to put the kill down, and that will tie things up at 3. Back and forth action so far. Jocelyn Johnson back in for Muniz. Kylie Keekley will rotate in for Edwards, and it will be the senior defensive specialist who will go back to serve for the Kahawks. She does so, and that is too far. So the service error will make it 4-3 Crusaders, as Amari Edwards will come back in and then be replaced by Muniz. Serve from, I believe that was Disler, and Jocelyn Johnson pushes it over, but a nice dig there. And then another nice effort by Arista Bunn, able to get it over. And the attempted kill from Jocelyn Johnson off of Carban, and that will make it 4-4. So back and forth action again. Ava Muniz into the game, as well as Natalie Thompson, and it will be Natalie who will go back to serve. Serve from Thompson, picked up by Althoff, and putting it down in, says the corner judge, and that'll be Avery Johnson's first kill of the match. That'll give the Kahawks their first lead at 5-4. First time we've had a team hold serve. Thompson back to serve, that one off of Carban. Able to get to it is Disler, and just pushing it over there was Vera Neville, who rotated into the game. And nice job set in the middle there for Jocelyn Johnson, and Jocelyn picks up her second kill, and that'll make it 6-4 in favor of the Kahawks. Another serve from Thompson, picked up by Disler, set up by Bunn, and the kill is just long from Adira Bunn, and that'll give the Kahawks another point and extend the lead out to 7-4. Thompson will look to continue the service run. She does so, picked up by Neville. Attempted attack, and now set up for Ava Muniz, but that was deflected, and so that will give the freshman her first kill of the night, and that'll make it 8-4 Kahawks. Thompson's service run continues. She does so. Over and picked up by Disler, and it winds up being Disler who will put it over, kind of a free ball set up by Thompson, trying to find Avery Johnson, and she does that diagonal thing, diagonal push across, and it is down. Avery picks up her second kill, and the run continues. It is now 9-4. Thompson to serve again. and she does so. Picked up by Neville. Set up over for Adira Bun, and that will get down for, I think they're actually going to call that an attack error on the block. So, yeah, that'll make it 9-5 as Kennedy Total rotates in for Althoff, and she will go back to serve. She does so. Picked up by Ava Muniz, set up by Thompson for Avery Johnson, and bounces around off the net, but the Crusaders are able to get it over. Guchar set middle for Johnson, and that one got blocked. Nice job there by Wallman and Neville. Give Wallman the credit for it, and that'll make it 9-6. And Total will go back to serve again. Does so, and that is in. So Total picks up the ace, first ace for either team tonight. And that'll make it 9-7. Another serve from Total, dug out by Guchar. Ava Muniz will set it up, and it's just pushed over there by Thompson. And go ahead, trying to tap it over there was Wallman. And we've got a little bit of miscommunication as a lift will wind up being called. And that'll make it 9-8. Coach Dawson with some instructions for players. Total will serve again, right at Ava Muniz, or Addie Muniz, excuse me. Able to get it over, and Avery Johnson will push it out there. And able to get the kill down there was Adira Bun, and we've got ourselves a tie game. 9-9. Crusaders answer Kahok's service run with a run of their own. And does so. Picked up by Guchar. Thompson will set it up for Avery Johnson and puts it down off of the diving Disler. That's Avery's third kill, and that will break the service run, make it 10-9 Collinsville. And it will be the junior outside hitter who will go back to serve for the Kahawks. She does so. Picked up by Disler, set up by Bunn, and able to pick up the kill there is Adira Bunn. So Arista to Adira. That's Adira's second. That will tie us up at 10 as Beltron will rotate back in and go back to serve. She does so. Picked up by Addie Muniz, set up for McMorris, and blocked down there by the Crusaders. And actually going for it, there was Beltron, as that ball probably would have gone out of bounds, so it'll be a point for Collinsville. Edwards rotates in for Jocelyn Johnson, that is, and Addie Muniz will go back to serve. She does so, picked up by Disler, and Aristoban will set it up for, that was Neville, I do believe, and that will be the freshman's first kill of the match, and that'll make it 11-11. She'll rotate out, be replaced by Riley Fairburn. So back to the top of the rotation order for Althoff. He does so. Dug up by Annie Muniz, set up for Ava, and she puts it down off of the diving Fairbairn, and that'll make it 12-11 Kahawks. Ava with her second. Altenberger and Lily Johnson back in as Ava Muniz and Thompson head to the bench. So back to the top of Collinsville's order as well, as Altenberger will go back to serve. He does so, just gets it over, and a nice dig there from Fairbairn. Set up for Disler, but Avery Johnson able to dig it up, and eventually they'll have a double hit called there as Nobody went for the ball. That'll make it 12-12. Scheibel will rotate back in, and it is the Crusaders libero Carman who will go back to serve. She does so. Picked up by McMorris. Altenberger will set it up for Avery Johnson, and that is out, says the corner ref. And that'll make it 13-12. First lead for the Crusaders in a while. Serve from Carban, picked up by McMorris and set up by Altenberger for Edwards. Kind of scramble at the net, but eventually pushed over. And just trying to tap it over, and that'll work successfully. Arista Bunn will pick up the kill on that as nobody was there for the Kahawks, and that'll prompt a timeout from Coach Dawson. We'll take one right along with her. Be back here in just a bit on the Kahawk Broadcast Club Network.
All Fluffed Up Grooming Salon in Caseyville is your go-to place to get that pampered treatment for your fur baby. All Fluffed Up offers one-on-one grooming sessions by skilled and professional groomers, focusing on a stress-free and fear-free experience for both pup and pup parent. Owned and operated by former Kahawk Jenny Eves, All Fluffed Up in Caseyville offers nail trimming, ear cleanings, bathing, and fur trimming, as well as full cuts. All Fluffed Up Grooming Salon in Caseyville, 16 East Reynolds Street. Call Jenny Eves for an appointment at 618-855-8533. Mobile grooming coming soon. That's All Fluffed Up in Caseyville, 618-855-8533.
Welcome you back into Fletcher Gymnasium. Set up by Altenberger for McMorris, and she puts it down. Beltran with a nice dig. And set up by Altenberger for Edwards. And that'll be an attack error. Carban back to serve again, picked up by McMorris, set up by Altenberger for Lily Johnson. And able to put that one down was Disler, her second kill of the night. That'll make it 16-12 Althoff. Carban looking to continue her service run. As so, picked up by Addie Muniz, set up for Avery Johnson by Altenberger. That tickles the top of the net. Carban able to pick it up. And Avery Johnson able to get there as I guess Altenberger was trying to push it over. Caught in an awkward spot, but that will make it 17-12 in favor of the Crusaders. Carban back to serve again. Does so. Set up by Altenberger for McMorris, and that is just tapped over, but does well enough in the end. McMorris with her third kill, and that'll snap the service run. And she'll be replaced by Griffin Guchar. And it will be Griffin's turn to serve. Does so. Picked up by and set up by Bunn for Disler. She does so, and Muniz and Guchar both went for it. So that'll be another kill for Disler, her third, and that'll make it 18-13 Crusaders. Back to serve is Arista Bunn. Serve picked up by Guchar. Altenberger will set it up for Avery Johnson, and she does so. Pushed out by Disler. Pushed over by Adira Bunn. Nice dig from attempted dig from Altenberger. Unsuccessful, and that'll make it 19-13 Crusaders. So Adira Bunn would get a kill for that. As into the game for the first time is Alyssa Yanger. Sophomore will take the place of Altenberger. As Arista Bunn goes back to serve. Set up by Yanger for Avery Johnson. And that's actually deflected back over. I'll set it up for Lily. And we'll try and set it up again. Adirabun with the kill. Nice dig from Guchar. Just tapping it over there was Edwards. Crusaders try and set it back up again. Set up by Yanger for Edwards. Not the cleanest strike on the ball. Crusaders will set it up again for Disler. Nice dig there from Guchar. Set up for Avery Johnson, but not a clean strike on it. And that'll give the Crusaders another point. It'll be 20-13. As Cameron Emig will be subbed into the game for the Kahawks. Her first varsity appearance of the year, I believe. The junior middle blocker. Another serve from Bunn. Set up for Avery Johnson. That was deflected. So maybe that'll give the Kahawks some momentum. Avery with her 4th kill of the night, and that'll make it 20-14. Jocelyn Johnson and Keekley back in. Or actually not Keekley. As Edwards will rotate in for, will come back in for Emig. And, okay. A little bit of confirmation here as Edwards did not serve in the first time, but everything looks good. And she does so, serves it over, picked up by Carban, set up for Disler. That goes off of the block, nice dig from Edwards. And unable to get to it there was Yanger, and that'll give the Crusaders another point. Disler with her 4th kill. Addie Muniz back in. Vera Neville back into the game for the Crusaders. Back to serve is Disler. He does so. Picked up by Guchar and set up for Lily Johnson. Was off the top of the net, picked up by Carban. And that is blocked out of bounds. Kill there by, that was by Neville. That's her 2nd. That'll make it 22-14. Disler back to serve once again. Serve over, picked up by Muniz. Set up by Carban, and trying to get it to Adirabun, but that is deflected out of bounds. Oh, unable to get the block down successfully. So that'll be another kill for Adirabun. That's her 4th. That'll make it 23-14 here in our first set. Served by Disler. Yanger will set it up for Avery Johnson, and she puts it into the net. 24-14 Crusaders. Disler will serve for the set. Does so, picked up by Guchar. Set up by Thompson for Lily Johnson. That was behind the screen, so, or the wire. So, first set goes 25-14 way of the Crusaders. Be back here in just a bit here on the Kahok Broadcast Club Network.
VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville is one of the area's longest-running VFW posts. VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville is your place to meet and join other area veterans. Plus, VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville offers all kinds of activities to help our veterans, as well as engaging the public with fun, food, fellowship, and a great time for great causes. Blood drives, fundraisers, raffles, and a Queen of Hearts drawing every Wednesday night. Plus, VFW Post 1117 in Caseyville has event space for your parties, celebrations, and other get-togethers. For more information, check out the VFW Post 1117's Facebook page or call the Caseyville VFW at 618-344-9878. All Pro Tees in Caseyville is your place for custom apparel and has been for over 20 years now. Why? All Pro Tees can handle any size project, big or small, and they specialize in large group orders. At All Pro Tees, quality is #1 on their list of priorities, as is evident by their excellent service staff. Did we mention All Pro Tees has over 20 years of experience? They can even help with fundraisers and event merchandising for your group. And of course, All Pro Tees is your destination for everything Collinsville Kahawks. So for all of your apparel needs, for civic groups, sports teams, business outings, or even a family reunion, your apparel needs stop at All Pro Tees. All Pro Tees in Caseyville at 2240 South Morrison Avenue. Online at allprotees.com. Right across the street from Kahok Stadium. All Pro Tees, 618-344-2200.
We welcome you back here to Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. Zach Roseman here with you. We're through one set here at Fletcher Gym. Althoff Crusaders the victors in that one, 25-14. Reese Disler and Adira Bunn with 4 kills each for the Crusaders. Avery Johnson with 4 for Collinsville. Althoff, Kahoks looked great for the first 15 points, and then a couple of errors, and it's a team like Althoff, you can't make too many, and they were able to capitalize. Had that nice long service run from Carban, and were able to do pretty well from there as the Kahawks will break their huddle. Coach Dawson taking plenty of time to talk to everybody. Alyssa Yanger will remain in the game at setter as Carban will rotate in for Scheibel. And Guchar, so the Kahawks have actually switched liberos here. Guchar will come in to play the libero role, and it will be Alyssa Yanger who will start things off behind the service line, so maybe a little bit of a change here as Yanger does so. Picked up by Disler, set up by Bunn for Neville, and she taps it over, and that is down. Mara Neville with her 3rd kill of the night, and the Crusaders start the last set the way they finished the first. Riley Fairbairn back to serve for Althoff. She does so. Picked up by McMorris. Set up by Yanger for Lily Johnson. And she's able to get it down. Lily with her second kill of the night. And that'll even things up at 1. McMorris back to serve for Collinsville. Morris does so, and that is too far. Addie Muniz will rotate back in. McMorris to the bench. As it is Caitlin Carban who will go back to serve for the Crusaders. She does so. Picked up by Guchar and some miscommunication there. Coach Dawson maybe a little bit frustrated there. Carban back to serve again. She does so. And set up for Avery Johnson. Blocked down there by Arista Bunn. And nice tap over there from Lily Johnson. That's her 3rd kill. And that'll make it 3-2 in favor of the Crusaders. Kylie Keekley and Jocelyn Johnson in. Cameron Emig and... So Emig, okay. All right, so we're trying to figure this out. Coach Dawson conversing with the floor referee. to the people at the service table. So Keekly will rotate in. Okay. Yeah, so it'll be Keekly who will go back to serve. I'm not quite well versed enough on volleyball substitutions to figure out how exactly that works, but Keekly will serve. She does so, and that is too strong. 4-2 Crusaders. All right. So Guchar will rotate in for Keekly as Emig will head to the bench. Back to serve is Aristabun for Althoff. As we'll hold for a second as Scheibel ties her shoe. Okay, it looks like we're good. Does so, picked up by Muniz. Yanger will set it up, and Avery Johnson will push it over off of Fairbairn. Set up for Adirapun. Lily Johnson picks it up. Yanger setting it up for Avery, and that is kill for Avery. Give her 5 on the night, and that'll make it 4-3. Ava Muniz and we have a new person? No, that's just Thompson. Ava Muniz and Thompson in. Lily Johnson and Yanger to the bench. Another serve from Thompson. Set up. And a big kill there from Disler. That's her 5th. And that'll make it 5-3 Althoff. Neville will rotate in, take the place of Fairbairn, as Disler will head back to serve. He does so, and that is too far. Service error gives the Kahawks another point, makes it 5-4. McMorris will rotate in for Annie Muniz, and it will be Avery Johnson who will go back to serve for Collinsville. She does so, and back-to-back service errors. Now 6-4 Althoff. Wallman rotates back in, and back to serve will be Kennedy Total. Totel. She does so, picked up by Guchar, set up by Thompson for McMorris, and that is actually down for a point. So McMorris with 4 kills now. As Emig will come in for Jocelyn Johnson. Guchar back to serve. He does so, just tickles the top of the net, but able to set it up well and able to pick up the kill there was, I believe that was Wallman. That'll make it 7-5 Althoff. As back to serve will be Carlin Beltran. She does so. Picked up by Avery Johnson. Set middle for Emig. Bounces around but stays in, and it winds up being Carban who will push it over. Set it for Muniz on the right side this time. She picks it up, and Emig able to actually get it over and pick up a kill. 7-6. Yanger in for Ava Muniz, Lily Johnson in for Thompson, and it will be Yanger who will go back to serve. Does so, just ticks the top of the net and drops in for an ace. First ace of the night for the Kahawks, and that'll tie things up at 7. As number 7 goes back to serve again. She does so, picked up by Disler, and able to win the battle there with Aristabun. There was McMorris. Guess that technically counts as a kill. That's her 5th, and the Kahawks have a lead in the set. She does so, serving to Carban. set up by Bunn for Neville, and picked up well by Avery Johnson, and set up for, she'll just tap it over. Beltran able to pick it up. Set it middle for Wallman. Another dig from Avery Johnson. Lily Johnson will try and push it over. Crusaders receive well. Free ball over from Neville. Yanger will set it middle for Emig, and that is just a miss hit. That'll make it 8-8. Neville out as Fairbairn is in and back to serve. So picked up by McMorris and set up for Zakia. She's able to put it over. And big kill there from Disler, her 6th of the night. And that'll make it 9-8 Crusaders. Coach Miller with some instructions. Fairbairn back to serve once again. She does so. Picked up by Kuchar. Yanger setting it up for Lily Johnson. So, and just tapped over there by Arista Bunn. It's her second time she's done that. That'll make it 10-8 Crusaders. Have a brief stoppage here as McMorris will tie her shoe. Ready to go. Fairbairn back to serve again. Does so. McMorris to Yanger, setting it up for Lily Johnson. Picked up by Carban, set up by Bunn. And that goes off of the block of Emig and down, so that'll be kill number 7 for Disler. And that will prompt a timeout from Coach Dawson, so we'll take one right along with her. Be back here in just a bit on the Kahok Broadcast Club Network.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Jason Regg, your Benjamin F. Edwards financial advisor, understands this. That's why Jason Regg is a proud supporter of your Collinsville Kahawks and the Kahawk Sports Network, as well as the Kahawk Educator of the Month Award. For all of your investment needs, see financial advisor and investment vice president Jason Regg at the Benjamin F. Edwards office in Collinsville, located at 1008 Vandalia Street, or call Jason Regg at 618-223-5215 or visit benjaminfedwards.com. Benjamin F. Edwards, member SIPC.
We welcome you back to Virgil Fletcher Gymnasium. Tapped over is the serve from Fairbairn. Set up for Lily Johnson. Picked up by Disler. Bunn setting it up for Wallman, who wasn't quite prepared for it. Yanger will set it up for Lily Johnson. Picked up by Beltran. And unable to get it over there was Disler. So the attack error will make it 11-9 in favor of Althoff. Annie Muniz back in. She'll go back to serve as McMorris will head to the bench. Muniz serve set up for Bunn to Disler, and a nice dig by Muniz. Gets over, and they'll set it up for Disler again, and not going to stop that one. 8 kills now for Disler. That'll make it 12-9 Crusaders. As Wallman will head to the bench. And it'll be Caitlin Carban who will head back to serve for the Crusaders. Serve over, picked up by Guchar. Set up by Yanger for Lily Johnson. That tickles the top of the net and it finds its way over. Set up by Disler again. Yanger will receive, and able to get to it actually was Lily Johnson, so the point will continue. Picked up there, and that goes off of Avery Johnson, and that'll make it 13-9 in favor of Althoff. The scoreboard went off for a minute, but looks like we're good. Serve from Carban, picked up by Muniz. And pushed out too far there by Yanger. Wait, my bad. Both teams have their first conference games of the year up next. Collinsville will head to Belleville East on Thursday. I believe Todd will have that game for you as Avery Johnson picks up her 6th kill of the night. That'll make it 14-10 Althoff. And speaking of the Crusaders, they are back in action Saturday afternoon. Bit of an unusual, Saturday afternoon conference match against Maryville Christian. 2 o'clock start for that one, so it'll be kind of interesting. Kylie Keekley in, and she will head back to serve. She does so. And set up for Wallman, but actually able to get the block on is the Johnson sisters. And actually able to save it, and that goes over. And the play will continue as Lily Johnson will just push it over, try and reset everything. Bunn setting it up for Dissler, and that goes through the block and down. 15-10 Althoff, and that is 9 kills now for Reese Dissler. Emig jumps up off the bench. I'll do that rotational thing in, so Guchar in essentially. Back to serve is Arista Bunn for Althoff. She does so. Tapped over and down, so that'll be a kill for Yanger. Not exactly textbook in its execution, but it works nonetheless. As Thompson and Ava Muniz are in, as Lily Johnson and Yanger head to the bench. She does so. And actually falling down there was Bunn, so that kind of threw everything out of whack. As take a second, ask for a towel. As we'll make something work. There we go. Grabbed a hoodie out of the stands. All right, now that we got that out of the way, Natalie Thompson will serve for Collinsville, and she does so, and that'll be an ace. Second ace of the night for the Kahawks. That'll make it 15-13. Thompson had a pretty good service run in the first set. We can see if she can replicate it here in the second. She does so. Popped up and blocked down. Nice dig there by Carman, even though I think it would have gone out of bounds anyway. Thompson able to get to it, and Guchar will set it up where Avery Johnson, who goes cross court and puts it down. 7 kills now for Avery. That'll make it 15-14. Thompson back to serve once again. Served down and picked up by the Crusaders. Set up for Dissler. And the attempted tap over goes out of bounds. And that will tie us up here at 15. Thompson back to serve once again. She does so. set it into the middle, and too far is the attempted kill from Adira Bunn. That'll give the Kahawks the lead, 16-15. Thompson with another serve. And a scramble for it, but able to actually get the kill down was Adira Bunn. That's her 5th. And that'll tie us up at 16. Disler back to serve. Neville will rotate in for Fairbairn. Serve is over, picked up by Addie Muniz. Set up by Thompson for Avery Johnson. Nice dig there from Carban. Set it up for Neville, and she mishits that one. We have a violation of some kind, so the point will go to Althoff. Another serve from Disler. And set up, and it will be a free ball. Buchar will send it over for Kahok. Set it up for Irabun, and able to win that battle is Avery. That'll be her 8th kill. As McMorris will come in, take the place of Annie Muniz, as Avery Johnson goes back to serve. She does so. Disler sets it up for Bunn for Neville, and that goes off the block, but the Kahawks are able to recover. As miss hit there from Ava Muniz. At the point back to the Crusaders, it'll be 18 serving 17. Carban to the bench, total in. Scheibel out. He does so, and that probably would have gone out of bounds. Kahawks will make a play out of it anyway. McMorris will pick up the kill. That's Zakia's 6th, and that'll make it 18 even. Scheibel back in, total to the bench. Emig in for Jocelyn Johnson for Collinsville. Griffin Guchar back to serve. He does so, and winds up going into the net. Point for Althoff. 19 serving 18. Beltran in for Adira Bunn. And it will be the junior defensive specialist who will go back to serve. We're ready to go. Serve from Beltran is too far, and that will tie us up at 19. Very competitive second set here. Yanger and Lily Johnson back in. Ava Muniz and Thompson to the bench. Yanger will go back to serve. Bit of an awkward pickup there from Carvan, but the Crusaders are able to get it over. Avery Johnson will try and set it up for McMorris. Awkward tap, and it'll be a free ball over for Collinsville. Johnson picks it up again, set up by Yanger, trying to find McMorris, and she does so, heads up in about the second row. Zakia picks up her 7th kill of the night. 20-19 Kahawks. Yanger back to serve once again. He does so. And setting it up for Neville. Down. Yanger able to get to it. Guchar will set it up for Lily Johnson. Gets it over. Picked up by Disler. Set up by Bunn for Neville once again. And that goes through the block of Emig. Neville with her 4th kill. And that'll tie us up at 20. Fairbairn in and back to serve. And that goes into the net. 21-20 Collinsville. McMorris back to serve. Serve picked up by Fairbairn, set up by Bunn, trying to get it to Disler, and McMorris's dig able to get it over. Set up middle for Wallman, and she taps it down. Her third of the night, and that'll make it 21 even. Carban back to serve again. Scheibel rotating in. Yanger setting it up for Lily Johnson. That is blocked down by Disler. And that'll make it 22-21. Coach Dawson will take a timeout. Back here in just a bit on the Kahok Broadcast Club Network.
Todd Duke here, proud member of the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Whether you call us teachers' aides, paraprofessionals, or educational assistants, it all comes down to one thing: taking care of students. More importantly, your student. Yes, we are there for the teachers, and we help them in any way possible. But our goals are in line with our teachers, in that we want to see our students succeed at not only being a student, but well beyond that as we ready them for the world outside of the classroom. We are Union Strong. We are Kahok Strong. We strive to help students reach their potential. We are the Collinsville Educational Assistance Association. Go Kahawks!
We welcome you back into Fletcher Gymnasium. 22-21 here in set 2. Althoff trying to pick up their 4th win of the year. Carban will serve, picked up by McMorris. Yanger will set it up for Avery Johnson. That is off the block, but a great dig from Carban. Able to set it up for Disler. Her attack picked up by Guchar. Set into the middle for nobody. Avery Johnson able to push it across. Go again. Another nice dig from McMorris, but they'll go out of play. Technically could call that another kill for Disler. Give her 10. 23-21. Carban back to serve again. Serve over, picked up by Guchar. Set up for Johnson. That'll tickle the top of the net and drop in. Avery with 9 kills. Kahawks will serve for a tie. Jocelyn Johnson back in. Emig will head to the bench. Guchar back to serve. Actually, no, it'll be Emig who will have to serve. Emig does so. Picked up by Beltran, set up by Bunn for Disler, and that'll be a double hit. And that'll make it 24-22 Althoff. Now Guchar will come in. And it will be senior setter Arista Bunn who will serve for Althoff. For the match. She does so. Picked up by McMorris. Yanger setting it up for Avery Johnson, and she puts it down. We're not quite done yet. Avery with her 10th kill of the match. 24-23. Timeout, Althoff. We'll go ahead and keep it here. Okay, let's look at their... So, we'll go ahead and keep it here. One thing of note is, as far back as I have records from, which is 2000, Collinsville has not beaten Althoff. They've met up a few times over the years, but over the past 25 years, Althoff are 8-0 against Collinsville. So, looking to keep that streak alive are the Crusaders. Collinsville looking to do something that no Kahok volleyball team has done for a while. Timeout is over. Now we'll get the rotation set up. Set it up here as they'll sub Ava Muniz in. Send Yanger to the bench. Change up the rotation order just a little bit. It will be Thompson who will go back to serve. She does so, and that is too far, and that will be the match. Final score 25-14, 25-23. Althoff will improve to 4-5 on the year. Collinsville will drop to 2-1. My next broadcast will be Thursday evening from over at Kahok Stadium. We'll have some soccer for you as the Kahawks take on Edwardsville. Reese Stisler leads the way for Althoff with 10 kills. Arista Bunn with a bunch of assists, I'm sure. Avery Johnson with a strong performance, her high for the year, I do believe, with 10 kills. Zakiya McMorris with 7. All in all, a pretty entertaining volleyball game. But yeah, we'll go ahead and wrap things up here on the Kahok Broadcast Club Network. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Like I said, my next broadcast will be Thursday. And until then, everybody stay safe out there and have a great rest of your evening.